Welcome back everyone to Sony Simplified, a show where our main goal is to give you simple solutions and simple answers to some of our most popular asked questions on our most popular products. My name is Brayton and I'm joined by my lovely co-host Karina.
Hey, I'm Karina.
And today we're going to be going over some of our favorite products that came out this past year, the WF-1000XM5s. They're super high quality, great noise canceling earbuds, and there's a whole lot of cool features that you can unlock if you already have a pair, or maybe even if you're even thinking about getting yourself a pair. We're here to help you and make it simple. So just real quick, if this is your first time watching this show, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. We missed you. For everybody watching, please feel free to give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe to the Sony Support USA channel if you can. And if you have any comments whatsoever, if you have suggestions on what we should wear next time or what we should do our next episode on, or especially if you have any questions on the products that we're covering today or any of the features, leave them in the comments below, and both myself and Karina will be down there to engage with you and respond to you. All the engagement is very, very appreciated. So, not to waste any time, this is going to be a short and sweet episode today. Just to give you a quick rundown of what we're going to cover, we're going to be talking about the Headphones Connect app, which is a super important application for whatever mobile device you use if you want to unlock all those features that these headphones have to offer. We're going to talk quickly about how to pair them to your phone for the first time if you're new to that. We're also going to be talking about some of our most frequently asked questions around these headphones. One of me and Karina's favorite segments called Sick Features. And again, if you have any questions or comments around any of these segments, leave them in the comments below and you'll catch me and Karina in there to help you out. So, downloading the Headphones Connect app. Let's dive right into it. The Headphones Connect app is an app developed directly by Sony to help unlock all the really cool features available on all of our great headphones, especially the WF-1000XM5s. It's available on both iOS and Android. So if you do have one of those devices and you just got one of these pairs of headphones if you're thinking about getting them, just go to the Play Store or the iOS App Store and make sure to download the Headphones Connect app. It should be an orange icon. You'll see Sony on there, and get that downloaded. Anything you want to add to that, Karina?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't feel like typing that into your Play Store or iOS App Store, what you can do is on the packaging, there's a tiny little QR code. If you want to grab your smartphone, get to the camera, scan that QR code. It's going to take you to a link that will eventually prompt you to download the Headphone Connect app. So a little bit of a quick way to get there, if you will. But while that's downloading, let's go ahead and get into the first time pairing your phone. And I actually have handy dandy Xperia right here, so that way I can guide you along. I have a screen recorder going right now. I can guide you along and we can go through some of this stuff together. Sound good, Brayton?
Yeah, sounds great. Let's get started.
Awesome. Let's jump into it. So what you're going to want to do is go into your settings on your device and then go into your device connection settings or your Bluetooth settings. And then I'm going to hit pair new device. And while it's searching, I'm going to take the earbud out, putting it in my ear so that way I could hear if it's pairing. You got to do both of them, by the way. Take both of them out of the case. Otherwise, it's not going to want to pair automatically. And then it went ahead and popped up on my screen here. So I'm going to go ahead and click WF-1000XM5s and hit pair. And a lot of the times for Android users out there, if you guys just open the case for the WF-1000XM5s, it's going to automatically connect or automatically prompt you to connect. So way easier than having to hit pair new device and go that way. So we just talked about your first time pairing your WF-1000XM5s to your phone, but something really important as well is your first time fit. Better fit equals better noise cancellation, noise isolation, I should say, better sound quality, overall better experience, and just making sure that your headphones aren't going to fall out of your ear. So, Brayton, I don't know if you want to go ahead and tell everybody how to get that perfect fit for your ear.
For sure, yeah. So when you open up these headphones for the first time, and I don't have a camera super close, but I'm going to try to get this to show here, you'll see in the box comes with a bunch of cool different ear tips, maybe not dissimilar to other earbuds that you've purchased in the past. Like Karina said, these are really important for you to try them on and make sure you get the ones that feel the most comfortable and that stick in your ear the best. Because again, like Karina mentioned, These headphones have great noise cancellation, but half of the equation when you're trying to really cancel out all the noise around you isn't just the headphone's ability to cancel the noise, it's also noise isolation, like she mentioned, which means having a good seal inside of that opening in your ear, which a proper fit on the ear tips will provide. So there's two main things that I want to mention about getting a perfect fit. First thing I mentioned was making sure that you try the different ear tips, and I think that goes without saying, especially because they're in the box and ready for you to try. But when you actually put the headphone on, there's also a really important piece. You don't want to just kind of stuff it in there. You want to turn the larger part of the headphone up towards the top of your head, and you want to twist them in. And I believe we have a cool graphic for them to show everybody. So you want to kind of turn them like this and turn them in, and that will kind of put them into that opening in your ear and make sure that they really fit nice and snug. They feel comfortable, they should fit properly, and you'll really get that good noise isolation that you're looking for, which will of course allow the noise cancellation on the headphones to work properly. How'd that go, Karina?
Perfect, Brayton. One thing I do want to add though is there's a really cool video done by Jackie that's on her channel, so be sure to check that out. And she goes over how to get that perfect fit. So if you want a little bit more in-depth information than what we gave you right now, check that video out. And last thing, what I do after I change out my earbuds and make sure I have the perfect fit on there, which by the way, I'm using the small. So before we recorded, I changed out the medium to the small just because I've worn these headphones before. I already know that I need the small tips. Everyone's ears are a little bit different. But what I like to do is I like to jump around and kind of like move around, like headbang a little bit, just to make sure that like my headphone's not gonna fall out of my ear. So something I definitely suggest doing before, I don't know, you go on an airplane or somewhere that you can possibly lose your earbud. So definitely a good thing to do.
Yeah, two things I want to add to that too. The fit that you get on these, like you said, yeah, maybe give yourself a little shake or try to move your head around and make sure that they don't fall out, but it should be pretty apparent. These things fit really well and they're super comfortable. If you feel like that they're sitting in there nice and snug and they're comfortable, that's probably the right thing to do. So good point. The other thing is, shameless plug, great also point, the Sony Support USA channel, the channel that we're actually on right now, has a whole bunch of great how-to videos, product showcase videos, including but not limited to the perfect fit video that you said our very own Jackie has provided for us. So feel free to subscribe to Sony Support USA. And if you click the little blue and black logo down there, you should be able to open up the entire channel and find all sorts of really cool information on all of your favorite Sony products. But today, we're not talking about all that. We're talking about the WF-1000XM5. So we've gone over the Headphones Connect app briefly. Hopefully you have that downloaded on your phone by now, and you have them connected, and you have them fitting nice and snug in your ear, and you're loving the way they fit. Let's move on to a segment we like to call Fact Facts, right? It's Fact Facts?
Oh yeah, Fact Facts.
We were trying to figure out if this was Fast Facts or if it was Fast Fact Facts, Fact meaning FAQ, frequently asked question facts. We're on the same page now, right, Karina?
I think we've come to a vote on which one we want to stick with.
Consensus? We've come to a consensus? Okay.
Yep.
So our first frequently asked question about the WF-1000XM5s that we see all over the place, primarily in our community forums, even on our support page, is how do I use the touch controls on the WF-1000XM5s to control the volume? And I can, if you allow me, Karina, I can give you the quick first answer, but there is more to it.
Go for it.
If you tap 4 times on the right earbud, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll go into a volume increase mode. So that every tap after that will continue to raise the volume up until it hits as high as it can go. Subsequently, if you want to turn the volume down, you tap the left side earbud, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll go into volume decrease, and you continue to tap it, and that'll subsequently move the volume down. However, there are some customizations, and there's a lot of really cool touch controls using the Headphones Connect app that we already talked about earlier. So Karina, I'll hand it off to you, and maybe if you want to give everybody a little demo on how to customize some of this stuff using the Headphones Connect app.
Totally. So if you're not about tapping your headphones 4 times plus to change your volume, you can totally change that. So what you're going to want to do is grab your Headphone Connect app. And again, I have it recording here so that way you can follow along with us. Go to Headphone Connect app, scroll over to the Systems tab, and just a couple options down, you have the Change the Touch Sensor function option. hit the gear icon right there, and you are able to customize. So you can make volume, let's say on your left earbud, you wanted a single tap volume up, double tap volume down, you can do that. Or you can also make other functions customizable as well. So you can do double tap on your right earbud if you wanted, for instance, to do Google Assistant. So a lot of options, just play with it. Play with it to the point where you're satisfied with the customization of the touch controls, because I totally messed around with mine, so they're to my liking. And if I were to wear someone else's earbuds, I would not know what the touch functions do. I mean, which if you think about Britain, it's kind of gross using somebody else's earbuds, but you know, you get the point.
I wasn't going to say it, but I was going to say, when my headphones are set up, so like if you guys are at home wondering like maybe what's possible, I have mine for if I want to skip a track, like if I'm listening to music, I'm at the gym or something, I want to skip a song, I press twice on my right earbud, that'll skip to the next song. I tap 3 times on the left earbud, that'll go backwards. But for the volume up and down, I actually like the 4 tap because I just start tapping it. If I want to turn it up, I just start tapping it. If I want to turn it down, I just start tapping it. I feel like for me that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you have to add the 4 taps in first, but I'm just doing it anyway because I'm just trying to get it to go up and down. So yeah, the Headphones Connect app gives a lot of customization options for the touch controls, and it's not, like you said, just about volume. It's also about skipping tracks. It's also about Google Voice Assistant. There's also turning on and off the noise cancellation. There's a lot of different things that can be done with touch controls, and they can all be customized right through the Headphones Connect app. So if you haven't already done that, please do that. Next, do you want to go move on to the next FAQ?
Let's do it.
All right. The next one is, can I pair these headphones to 2 devices at once? I'm going to hand that one off to you, Karina.
The answer is yes. And we don't mean that in a way where like you pair it to your phone and then you like disconnect and then you pair to your tablet and then you like pair to your computer. Like, we don't mean that. We mean being able to seamlessly transition from one device to another without unpairing and repairing. So the answer is yes. Let me show you how. So I'm grabbing my phone here again. And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna go to, again, the System tab on the headphone device, or sorry, on the Headphone Connect app. And then it's already turned on for me automatically, but you can just turn on that tab that says connect to 2 devices simultaneously. So turn it on if it's not on already. And then once it's on, what you're gonna do is go to the Status tab on the app. And then you can see here, connected devices, and I'm just connected to my Xperia right now. But if I click this tab right here, I can connect to a second device. So if I were to hit this brown little brownish color plus button here at the bottom corner of the screen, it would put my headphones into pairing mode, and then I'd be able to connect to, like, let's say my computer would probably be the most ideal one for me. So that way, if I'm jumping on a call for work on my computer, I'd be able to answer it without any kind of issue, automatically connects to my headphones, and then after the call ends, boom, back to my phone, back to my music listening to or whatever else I'm watching.
Yeah, for me, I think that this feature really comes in the most handy when I'm doing like content consumption or something on a larger size device like a laptop or a tablet or something, but I also want to have my phone connected. If someone calls me or whatnot, it will push through and I can answer it, but it'll switch back to whatever I'm using if I start using that one. So really cool feature. Obviously a great question to ask, and makes sense why it's a frequently asked question, but once it's on, and you can connect to 2 of your most used devices, and that's super, super handy in this day and age. Should we move on to the next one?
I'm ready.
All right. And the next one is, do the WF-1000XM5s have a Find My Earbuds function?
The answer is yes, and it's not in the Headphone Connect app. So unlike most of the stuff that we're doing today, we're gonna step away from the Headphone Connect app, and it's not where you'd think to find it, but it actually makes a lot of sense. So here, I'm gonna grab my phone, and we're gonna go into the settings, the system settings, and this is for you Android users out there, by the way. So I don't believe this is available on iOS devices as of yet, but if you're an Android user, you totally have access to this. Go ahead and go to your system settings, hit device connection, and then as you can see here, it says my WF-1000XM5s. Click the gear next to it, and you're gonna have a list of a few options, one of which is Find My Earbuds. So click on that, and it gives you the option of left and right earbud. What you're gonna wanna do is click the one that you find, like, so let's say for instance, you just drop your right earbud, you can't find it, you dropped it in the grass, or you're hiking and it fell out of your ear, something, right? Like you're trying to get the earbud out of the case and it just fell. If you're clumsy like me, it happens a lot. So as long as your earbuds are connected to your phone, you can do this. It's going to give you the option of left or right. Click which one is missing. Hopefully not both. Like, let's say I lost my right one. I'm going to click right, and then it's going to start pinging. So it's going to start pinging, making an audible noise. That way it's a lot easier to find. Kind of like the Find My Remote feature on our Broadway TVs, Britton, if you will.
That's a great plug. I love that feature too, because these headphones stay in my pocket a lot, and sometimes I spend a lot of time on my couch. We've talked about that in the past. And they fall out of my pants and into my hungry couch. So being able to ping them is really, really helpful. Let's move on, because that is a great feature. Happy we covered that. The next one, and the last one before we move on to the next segment, is I got a new phone, and I can't pair my WF-1000X5s. What should I do? Or
so the reason, go ahead.
I was gonna say, or this might be also an issue if you're trying to connect it to a different device or something like that, and they're already paired to something else. How do I get it to pair to a new device?
So the reason this happens is because your WF-1000X5s, they think that they're connected to your other device still. So like, let's say, for instance, you upgrade your phone, right? It still thinks that you're connected to your old phone, or that they're connected to your old phone. So they're going to want to keep connecting that. They're not looking for a new device to connect to. So what you're going to want to do is manually put it into pairing mode. So let me show you how to do that. So what you're going to want to do is go into your system settings and go back to your Bluetooth settings. And as you can see here, I've already forgotten the WF-1000X5, so that way I could just kind of start fresh. Grab your headphones, and right here on this back side, you can see this tiny button. Go ahead and hold it down for like 3 to 5 seconds. And on the front side, there's a tiny little LED light. And once that starts flashing, kind of like it is now, probably really hard to see from here on the camera, that means it's in pairing mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit pair new device, and boom, popped up. Click on that, pair, and voila.
There we go.
Pair to
yeah, and
device.
most Bluetooth devices that anyone has probably used, and it's 2024, so most of us have probably used at least a Bluetooth device, have some sort of pairing button. On the WF-1000X5s, like Karina said, it's on the very back. Just press and hold it. You'll start seeing it blink. You can pair it to something new. But those are awesome frequently asked questions, and we're so happy that we're able to get through it. Our last segment, me and Karina's favorite, is called Sick Features. So we're going to go over 3 really cool sick features. This first one I think is really, really cool, and actually makes me use a feature that I never actually used all that much. It's called Find My Equalizer. And Karina, I'll let you demonstrate it here in a second. While you get ready, I just want to say a couple things about it. If you ever have had a pair of headphones or any type of audio device, you might notice that there's pre-made equalizers, or EQs they're called. And I've always known that, like, depending if I'm listening to podcasts or music or whatnot, I can never decide which one to use. But Find My Equalizer actually helps you customize your own, and even if you don't know too much about different audio settings, it really helps you dial that in. So I'll hand it off to you, Karina, if you want to demonstrate what that is and how that works.
Yes. So what you're going to want to do before you start the process is listen to something on your phone, right? Listen to something, preferably music that you listen to a lot, like a genre you listen to a lot. Don't pick something like, I don't know, smooth jazz if you don't listen to smooth jazz a lot. I know Brayton does, but me not so much. So I probably pick something more like alternative, something I listen to a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and play some audio. And while I got that going, so you're gonna wanna go into the Headphone Connect app, go under the sound tab, and just a couple options down, it's find your equalizer, hit start. I'm gonna go ahead and hit next. And it's gonna give me 5 different options to choose from. So I'm gonna listen to them and just kind of figure out which one I like the best. I think I'll do 3. And then from there, it gives me more options so that we can fine tune it even more. go with 7. And now it's creating it. All right, so it's gonna find that perfect EQ for me. And the cool thing is it lets me listen to before I change it and after, just to make sure I really like it. Way better. Hit finish, save, and then boom, find your equalizer.
Yeah, I love that feature, especially because when I was much younger, I remember just like going onto my device and like turning up the bass or whatever. But everyone knows if you just crank up one treble or bass or whatever mid, it's gonna not sound the way it's designed to sound. The Find My Equalizer really helps you dial it in and make sure it's perfect for whatever it is that you want to listen to, even if it's not even music. If you want to listen to podcasts or audiobooks and you want that dialogue to be nice and crisp, the Find My Equalizer feature is awesome. So let's move on to the next one, shall we?
For sure.
Head gestures. Let's talk about head gestures for a little bit. One of the things I really love about these headphones is a feature called head gesture, and it allows you to answer your phone or decline a call, answer a call, decline a call by nodding or shaking your head. And Karina, do you want, again, to demonstrate where that is, at least in the Headphones Connect app?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that's really cool about the head gesture capability is, and I really want to like establish why we have it, is for those moments where your hands are full, you can't really get to the phone and answer it. So a lot of the times, like if I'm working in the kitchen, like I like to cook a lot. So if I'm like chopping carrots and I have, my knife and like, I see that somebody's calling, let's say, I don't know, Brayton, if you're calling, chances are I'm gonna shake my head. Sorry, just kidding. I'm gonna nod my head so that way I can answer your call, see what's up. But if I see it's one of those like pesky spam callers, I can just look at my phone, see who's calling, and just shake my head to decline that call. But anyway, let me show you how to get there. So we're gonna go back into the Headphone Connect app. And what we're gonna do is go into the System tab. And, sorry guys, wrong one. System tab. And then scroll down a little bit, you'll see head gesture right here. Go ahead and toggle that on. And boom, turned on. What it might have you do is it might prompt you to nod and shake your head a couple of times, just so that way the headphones know kind of what that looks like. But yeah, Brayden, that's the head gesture capability, and that's how you get to it.
Yeah, that one's always fun, especially if your hands are full. I've used it a couple times when I have my hands with groceries and stuff. But yeah, it's a great feature. Last but not least, is speak to chat. So this one comes in super handy when you have a pair of our WF or WH-1000XM5 headphones on. If you're out in public, for instance, and you have noise cancellation on, you're listening to your favorite tune, and you walk up to, let's say, your favorite barista and you want to order a coffee, the headphones will actually recognize your voice and turn noise cancellation off and even pause your music when you start talking. And there are some customizable features for that in the Headphones Connect app. And Karina, our resident expert, I'll hand it back off to you to talk about that.
Totally. So this is how you get there. So back to the Headphone Connect app, and you're gonna wanna go to the Sound tab. And the second option on there is Speak to Chat. So go ahead and go ahead and toggle that on if you'd like. And you can even hit the little gear icon right next to it, and it's gonna give you more options to customize even further. So for instance, if you wanted to change the voice to text sensitivity from auto to high to low, you can do that. But more importantly, I think the time until your audio comes back on, you can adjust that as well. So standard is gonna be 15 seconds. If you're more of a talker, you might wanna do 30 seconds. And if you're like me and you're just kind of bare bones, basics, yes, no, do short. That gives you 5 seconds before your music kicks back on and then the ambient noise shuts off. And then you can also choose to not do it automatically. So basically it's gonna pause until you decide to play.
Yep, yeah, that feature's awesome. So pretty much Speak to Chat, Head Gesture, and Find My Equalizer are all some of the features that we really love. And we always want to be able to bring the viewers some things that aren't necessarily even known that your headphones can do. So a lot of the stuff we covered right away in this show, we call Sony Simplified, is answering questions that a lot of people might be wondering or things that are popular to ask about the new products. And we also want to bring you a few cool features that you might not even know about, including the ones we just talked about. So that pretty much wraps up our show for today on our WF-1000X5s. Again, thank you everyone so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments or any suggestions for our next episode, please leave them in the comment section below, and you'll actually catch me and Karina down in there in the comments answering any questions and responding to any comments you might have. Please stay tuned next month for our next episode, and stay tuned for whatever that might be on. I'm not sure if we've totally locked that in yet, but if you do have a suggestion, please leave it in the comments below. But until then, my name's Brayton.
My name's Karina.
Thank you so much for watching Sony Simplified, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.